scientific approach to our senses, like way less. And I had a point that, this actually was like a medicine for me. Just moving and shaking my body.
Immersive and enjoying the journey along the way. Hey, welcome to another Inner Edge podcast episode. As always, I've got a new guest for you. Her name is Raha, and she is a sensory meditation, somatic coach, ceremonialist, and musician. Welcome. Glad to have you. Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks for having me.
As always, we're going to go through some what she does, who she is, how she got here in her life, and then my favorite part, she's going to offer a really cool exercise and find out how this can support you men out there. So let's kick it off, Raha. So who are you and what do you do?
Well, first, thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to be here and an opportunity for me to share my story, my life experience. Just going back, how am I here in this seat talking about what we're talking about? A little bit of background about my childhood. I did grow up in Iran with a lot of influences of music, togetherness, importance of community, movement, sound, and art as a big part of our lives, but also a lot of suppression, and especially a woman growing up in Iran, a lot of limitation in my expression or dancing, the freedom of expression outside. Also in the families, just they suppress. And so I got a really good amount of both I needed for my path growing up in Iran, and ended up moving to US. So lived half of my life in Iran. By now, half of my life in US. So almost equal. I ended up going through a really dark time with my mental health, which it was also reflecting my physical health as well. It all starts energetic first, and then when you don't address the energetics, it starts hitting and reflecting on our physical form, which that's where I was when I was my Saturn return between 27 to 30. I started having major problem with my mental health, panic attacks, anxieties, a lot of confusion of my identity, who I am, how this works, where I am. Felt pretty lost, and there was a series of events of my kidney problems and migraines. Also went to my L5, which was the best blessing that ever happened. My herniated disc that was causing sciatic nerve, which was on my beginning of my spine, close to my roots, my energy channels, abdomens, and all my body started having a lot of pain there, that I had to go there and address it and find why this pain is there. How did I manifest it, and how can I reverse and take myself back into a peaceful, graceful life? That was the beginning. Well, that was the beginning of the things get so difficult to push me in the direction that all I could think of and focus on was, how can I fix myself?
Yeah.
How can I find ways into aligning myself back, getting rid of my nerve pain? And a lot of Western medication was numbing me, actually was not fixing me. It was numbing my symptoms. And when I would come out of it, not take the pill, I would actually hurt more. I was constipated from all the numbing medication. It was not helping my issue from the core. It was actually just numbing my symptom. And I realized that, I need to actually do something myself. I can't just depend on doctors and, hey, let me go this visit. Can somebody help me? And a lot of places, they're like, well, it's your back pain. You're going to have this for the rest of your life. And as a musician and dancer and athlete that I love moving, it was such a big impact emotionally. But it was the way that pushed me to realize having this pivotal point that I was in the victimhood from what happened to me.
Yeah.
And I was able to say, okay, well, here it is. This is what I have for the rest of my life. What's my attitude towards it? I'm just sitting crying like a victim person. I'm going to bring in the attitude of, I'm going to fix this. I'm going to take care of this, and I'm going to find ways. I just trust it. And I started hanging with Native Americans and doing a lot of their ceremonies, sweat lodges, and chanting and singing, which just started remembering my childhood, why we were doing those chanting, and unfold a lot of wisdom there that way. And I remember we called him Uncle. He said one day, there's no disease that does not have a remedy in nature. Everything balances each other's. So if you have birth, you have death. If you have a day, you have a night. And if you have a disease, you have a remedy. You just have to be curious, pray. And they brought the pray, which is our intention, intuition, and the focus of our mind towards what we want.
Yeah.
And anything we want can be delivered when we truly sit down and ask for it. Mm-hmm. And this lots of amazing modalities came into my way and helped me to figure it out. And I'm very happy right now being able to sit down here with no medication, just have my sanity and talk about these things. But I did experience it experimentally with my system.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And how long was your sort of journey from recognizing the challenges in your body to sort of where you can say, let's just say you recovered, or you're in a space where you feel what you felt at ease? Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I would say close to 3 years.
3 years.
2.5 to 3 years.
Okay.
Things start getting harder, and then different doctors, different modalities, until finally I start noticing that what I was doing, it's making a change. It's reversing my conditions, because it's not like those very painkiller that you take and instantly your pain is gone.
Yeah.
You kind of have to have a warrior attitude to take steps while you're in pain to figure it out. And when I knew I'm actually reversing, then it gives me this inspiration and motivation. The energy was just like flowing. And because I was so excited. It's like, oh, I'm doing it. I'm doing it by myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, what a beautiful transformation. I love hearing people's transformation, because it gives, the listeners and the viewers like, oh, it's possible. Yeah, it's one of the most pleasurable thing to experience self-doctoring, self-healing. I like to say that the trees and the flowers, they don't really need to go to school, or they don't have doctor system to go get healed. They have it within them, and they channel it from within. Yeah, absolutely. They talk to nature, they talk to spirit, do all that stuff instead of depending on what the doctor says, which in some ways I've gone back and forth for myself with, I got diagnosed with Crohn's 3-4 years ago, and they wanted me to get right away on medicine, which basically causes the immune system to shut down. Well, not shut down, but basically slows it down in some ways, so I can not have the inflammation in the body. And I decided to go the route that you went, which is sort of finding the healing modalities and hypnotherapy and all the other things. And I can now say after 3 years, like, same thing for you, like, my body is in the best shape ever without doctor's medicines. And next week I'm actually going for a colonoscopy to check on it to see where I'm at. So it's really exciting. I want the doctor to be like, you're good. So we'll see. Yeah.
I wish that for you.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. So I'm curious, now that you've gone through this journey of supporting and helping yourself, what led you to be like, okay, now I want to serve others?
I can say I almost didn't have a choice. What seeing through the cycle and the language of nature and how we can actually bring ease. It was hard to find it, as I said, 3 years almost. But when I found it, it was so simple. And finding out that how we're only using the difficult route as the Western medication, and how our psyche in every individual, it's almost like a prison that we're not expressing. We barely are touching our full expression because of proper social behavior, or maybe generation over generation, we have forgotten what it is to be a fully expressed human being. My heart just wanted to do this, to bring this awareness to people, but also keep myself involved with these things, because I knew this is my prescription. And this is how I can keep my sanity for the rest of my life. But I always wanted to, anything I played or did, I wanted other people to experience. And my family used to tell me, you should be a teacher, or you're going to be a teacher in the future, because anything I would experience instantly, this is how you do it, this is what you should do.
Nice.
I just have that passion.
Yeah.
And patience to watch people taking steps to actually experience what I experienced, or I'm still experiencing through it. It's one big story. It's still continuously going. It's there's a lot of pleasure into experiencing things, but there's also a lot of pleasure into sharing it with someone. Like how you have a good story, you're waiting for your friends to just see them and tell them. Actually, our hormone levels has shown some people have more hormone when they are sharing the story from the actual incident.
Really?
That is more pleasurable because now we're sharing it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Cool. I love that.
So I love sharing my story and sharing the codes or discoveries that I had for my personal development and personal peace. I would say more than anything, just moving through this life with peace
Yeah.
and playfulness, to have fun. Yeah.
Peace, playfulness, and have fun.
Oh,
Absolutely.
well, let's call it peace, playfulness, and presence. So the 3P, being present with the miracle of life, is one of the most joyful things I'm experiencing every day.
Yeah. Phenomenal. I'm curious. Let's hear a little bit about what it is that you support people with. Like, what are some of the things that people come to you and you potentially guide them? Maybe some of your workshops. What are some of the things that you offer?
I'll share a little bit of the story of how I got to the conclusion of what I'm offering.
Yeah.
I do offer movement and sound experiences for people that can help remove tension or process any unprocessed emotion that we're holding into our system, that can numb our receptors to receive what's fully here, to be able to clear them somatically, kind of like house cleaning, but energetically, clearing your memory, muscle memory, bringing activation to our voice, which using voice is also a major factor of understanding human experience itself. Everything has an opposition, as I spoke about, a day and night, and we're moving with ease when we accept both. If we don't deny anything, the suffering comes from the resistance. And when I found out that, wow, there's a half aspect of me is physical, food and touch and physical needs, but then there's also an 50% energetic self of me exists there, my emotional self, that I haven't been doing any exploration or any like an emotional wellness to figure that part. How do I understand about my emotions and frequency? I didn't know until I went, let's say, into a drum circle accidentally walking a Balboa Park, and I see these amazing drummers. I'm a percussionist as well. I'm like, wow, they're good drummers. It just like kind of magnetized me towards the sound. And I went there and the music started shaking me and moving me, and I had a cathartic release of my sound. It activated the primal. And that's one of the time that instantly after an hour or two, I just stood up there, shook with people and made sound with people in a group setting. Walking away from this drum circle, I could feel my nervous system switched from fight or flight to a relaxed mode.
Yeah.
And that whole pulsation and anxiety that I could feel in my nerves and my system was just like way less. And I had a point that, oh, this actually was like a medicine for me. Just moving and shaking my body and sounding itself. So that led me into doing it more and also creating spaces that I transfer this knowledge or experience to people.
Yeah.
One of the things I do is working with sound and movement.
Yeah, which I'm excited for you to do an experience of that in a little bit. You shared something a little earlier that I'd like you to, if you can dive a little deeper into, which is for the guys out there who don't know how to accept the duality, hold the duality. Mm-hmm. How would you support them in feeling and holding those at the same time so they don't go into suffering?
The duality aspects of themselves.
Yeah, themselves, or you mentioned that, to be able to hold both instances of something, right? Instead of true suffering is when you don't accept those two, when you're resisting those two. So I know that I would be like, well, how do I do that? How do I not resist? How do I accept whatever is in front of me?
So I found the one most potent part was letting the body have both in its expressive way. So if I have an expression of a very civilized woman and tamed and just well proper sitting down and expressing with this sound level, and in the safe space, in my own space, I allowed my body to go to those maybe angry seen in the society expressions, maybe roaring, maybe acting like an animal, or primal sounds. That was deep breathing, guttural sounds, maybe some vibrations in my throat, kind of like a real cat.
Yeah.
It starts coming out. And I realized actually from the shaking and sounding, I reached the climax, but I am roaring. I'm having a cathartic emotional release, but it was very primal. I would act my animal in a really wild and powerful, fierce way, not towards anybody, not at anything. There was no story behind it. It was just an expression. And honoring that expression to my body and accepting it as just an expression and energetics of me, it brought me so much peace. Because these bodies, they have their own needs. They have a need to express fully. They have the need to be connected physically. They desire touch. They desire sound. They desire certain things that if we do feed them and hold both for at least the body, will help us with our self-development, understanding all aspects of ourselves. Because I feel like in men, behavior, men are even more shut down emotionally because you can be aggressive. They're going to, you're not a good man if you have a lot of anger. You can't express it. It's almost dangerous. Also, your other emotional touch is so suppressed. A hero doesn't cry. A hero doesn't show emotions, doesn't show femininity. Mm-hmm. And those are the things actually needs to be welcomed. And when we welcome those in the expression with the body, it brings so much peace into our mental state. Our physiology is directly connected to our psychology. So to heal our psychological wounds, we can just honor it from our body. So I create safe space with drumming and repetition. We release and open up our body from contraction to expansion, and from lack of expression to opening the throat chakra and bringing those, the anger.
Yeah.
Then you're emptying. And when you go home, when we do these practices and you go home, even if the world ends and gives you all these excuses to be really angry, you can be.
Yeah.
Then in your family with your loved one, you're already in such a calm space. Like, there's no need to yell and scream right now. I've already done it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's one thing I realized. Even just the voice expression of it is so essential right now.
Yeah.
And then bringing creativity into our anger or into our grief. Yeah, I feel a lot of other problem of mental health crisis. We're in a mental health crisis right now. Is unprocessed grief. We're not honoring our grief or letting that motion to come through and express.
Yeah, absolutely. When it comes to some of the men that come to you, whether it's in your workshop or one-on-one, or what are some of the things that you see that they come to you for?
The first thing would be the emotional wellness. A lot of them, after coming to a Raha gathering, whether it's a small group or big group, smaller or one-on-one, has a deeper influence of them just releasing and moving and activating. They have a better sleep. They feel more in touch with their emotions and pattern recognition, catching themselves, slowing down. Because sensory meditation also, it's a very potent way to access information. Our senses are doorways.
Oh, yeah.
It's in a way a mystery science. I can't tell you exactly how you feel or what you feel if you use your voice for 15 minutes or if you meditate with this bite of food and close your eyes and take 10 minutes for one bite and what's going to unfold internally. I can point what's the practices, and then you, by doing it, you uncode those inner realms of, okay, what your voice would do if you use it 15 minutes straight. And gently and softly in your reality, you start finding matching points.
Matching points?
Seeing the reality as a live intelligence, force that it's communicating with you, like a mystery force. The language of communicating with nature. A lot of guys, they tell me after working with me, they see trees more, they notice the clouds more, the sound of the birds. So sensory meditation, it activates and opens the door for a heightened awareness and a deeper presence here. So has helped people with releasing. They can sleep better. They have let go of anxiety. They have brought more creativity and expression into their personality even.
Yeah.
I think everything can be creative. Life is art. We are art. This is art. The way we talk is art.
Absolutely. Yeah. Wow. That's amazing. So for you guys out there, like wanting to feel a bit more present, bringing and connecting to your body so you can actually go out into nature or go out and just taking a walk and being like, oh, wow, that's actually pretty beautiful. Like instead of like going from point A to point B, like you can actually go from point A to point B being immersive and enjoying the journey along the way. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, amazing work. Thank you for what you offer and bringing more men into their body, connecting them to their sense of self and their presence. I think it's important in today's world. Yeah. I want to hear a little bit more about what other ways that the men can be supported in this work besides presence. And so for some of the men out there, for them to be able to be like, ooh, that's the kind of work or support I need, what are some of the sort of like things that they're going through in their life where you could point to, where they can recognize that, oh, that's me. Let me reach out to Raha, or let me reach out to someone who can support me with somatic, with drumming, with sound. What are some of those things that you come into that you come aware of?
I would say the meditation aspect of what I do, active and creative meditation for people with anxiety, stress, PTSD, or people who feel they have a lot of life force that they just don't know what to do with it. They were having, because that's some other part of the panic attack, I realized. It was just a signal for my body to let go, be more even intense, be more physical. If they have a problem with focusing, like ADD, so rhythm, drumming, dedicating yourself to a metronome, it's the most natural way to train ADD rather than taking those pharmaceutical medication that we're taking, and we're treating our bodies so poorly that could be fixed with a simple singing and drumming.
Wow, that gave me chills.
That's why we see in a lot of ancient shamanic practices, the shaman has a little medicine drum and they're chanting. Basically, when you dedicate yourself to a timing of a tempo, a metronome, there's no way you can think.
Yeah.
So your mind muscles, you're going to train your mind muscle to slow down and eventually be quiet. And slowing down, dedicating yourself to just a simple tempo, it is the way to enter meditation. For me personally, it was really hard because sitting still, I was accelerating my thought process, not knowing where the state of meditation is. Was thinking more, actually, I was causing more drama for myself.
Yeah.
Then I realized, active meditation, creative meditation works 100% instantly for me. When I grabbed my drum and played again, I was like, oh, okay. This is a medicine.
Yeah.
My thoughts are going away. And then I was able to bring in a lot of creative energy into my singing. When people who are also seeking for spirituality and they know there's something more there that they haven't accessed yet, if they are to that point that they know there's more about themselves, there are more layers of themselves that they want to find it, this work would be great for them. We all want to be smarter. We all want to be having a higher IQ or a deeper awareness of what's going on. And to me, having the discovery or the realization how keeping track of multiple expression is the only way to expand our IQ, which musicians and athletes, they do it just naturally because of what they're putting themselves into, playing music or playing sport with a group. But basically, how we get smarter is how many mathematical pattern of expression we can hold with our body. So if you hold a foot pattern and then you have a clap pattern and then you do a head. So now you're doing 3. And then if you add your voice, now you're doing 4. And maintaining these 4 layers is how we actually expand our awareness. So putting an effort, just simply sitting and keeping 4 layers of expression, synchronizing with a group, which now has proven that actually our hormone level changes, is the way to expand our IQ. So who doesn't want to be smarter?
Yeah, right. Totally.
It's not in the seminar. It's not in a book you read. It's how much you sit down and you put effort to open those neurological pathways to maintain 4 things. And if you do maintain the 4 things, so next you go to a restaurant, you can hear 4 different conversations, kind of engage with all of them, know what's up. I'm not saying know every single word, but you can kind of know what's up in the whole room. You also can have a wider lens because you trained your neurological system that way, that angle difficult time and different angles in your life and bring them together into a dance to have the best problem solving attitude for your whatever is happening.
Yeah.
So that's another thing that Actually, I sat down for 5 days in my patio with no food. Well, a minimum food, only when I thought that I couldn't take it anymore. And that's what I picked up from the vision quest of Native American. I did my own version in my home, in my patio for 5 days. No talking, no engaging, minimum food. Just watching nature. I saw birds would come every sunset, sunrise, come together and do this. They're flying with different patterns. They're sounding, and they're doing it in a group dynamic. And that's just for the health of the species and the evolution, their smartness, and the tribe.
Yeah.
So we're missing that because we're not living in a tribe setting. So creating these experiences, at least it gives our bodies to have that food, the desire they need to create with a tribe.
To what I'm basically hearing you say is co-regulate with a community, with a group of people. Yeah, absolutely. It's so powerful. Yeah.
It's so powerful.
So powerful.
Doing it with yourself is really powerful for
Yeah.
self-development, but then it takes you to a next level when you do it with a group, let's say with 4 or 5 to 15 men.
Yeah.
Also, if you do it with a bigger group for 50 to 60, 70, for the different energetics of it.
Yeah.
But even in the book of Body Keeps the Score, the last chapter talks about how a lot of veterans actually healed from these kind of AA meetings. They would meet weekly with a group to bond, and all they did, they interact musically and expressively.
Wow.
They didn't really talk about their problems because energies are emotions are energy in motions, and it cannot be processed with our intellect. It's a whole different thing. You can have the realization with your intellect, but you cannot process the energies that are in motion into your body with your thoughts. So talk therapy can open the wound and look at it and be like, okay, that's it.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't really heal the problem from the core issue that you're actually holding a lot that needs to be released or expressed or just moved through you. And then a lot of ancient Persian dances. I don't know if you've ever seen them, like Kurdish dance.
yeah,
they
of
hold
course.
hands and
Yeah.
they move together.
Yeah.
This is not a poetic imagination anymore. Now, here, science has approved by monitoring people what's their hormone level is, what's their neurological impulse and activation is in the group before and after they come and they repeat a movement together and synchronize in their expression. When multiple bodies are synced into what they're expressing and what they're feeling through their system, our intelligence multiplies.
Cool.
These are codes that ancient knew and they would just do it. It's still there. We have designed such an individualism lifestyle that we're not honoring these tribal approaches to these bodies, our instruments that they needed. So we can provide spaces even in this modern life to at least honor our system, regulates our system, to be in a more peaceful, expanded, graceful experience of ourselves and others in our self-relationship and other relationships will definitely impact.
Absolutely. There's so much to the body that I think we're just starting to learn more and more about. Hey, guess what? Like, why don't you move your body a little bit? Like, yeah, for the guys out there, like putting on a song and like just move to the song. Like, you don't need to dance. It's not about dancing. It's about just letting your body move to the song. Like, whatever it is, however your body wants to move, putting a sad song, a happy song, whatever it is, and just let your body express itself. It's a game changer. So yeah, anything somatic is, yeah.
It's the language of the bodies.
Totally.
That's why it changed the game, because it's the language of our bodies.
Yeah.
Somatic is anything that has nothing to do with your intellect and your analytic process. So we have both, but we've been engaging on analytic and intellectual process continuously, and this is directly connected to the mental health crisis or lack of understanding of self, because we're not actually speaking the main language of these bodies. We're only speaking with the language we came up with. this analytic
Verbal, yeah,
language.
yeah.
But that's the main language.
Yeah.
So I bring in a lot of physical somatic dialogues into the group, or something similar to the contact improv dance.
Okay.
And that's something I highly recommend for people, bring it into their life. It's like a language.
Yeah.
It's not a sports or a show or performance. It's a language of communication without a word, of communication with motion. Yeah.
It's so powerful. Yeah. I love contact improv. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's how I basically healed. The more activity I brought into my body, the more music, the more rhythm, singing, chanting, going to wild, expressive sound of mine, I healed. So that's the part I'm like, it can be so simple, it can be so creative and fun.
Totally.
We can heal together. Actually, it accelerates, it enhances the process of healing together. Even in the research of the group dynamics, they realize when the group is more synced, the more synced they are, the more hormone release. All the good hormones, serotonin, endorphin, dopamine, and also the brain wave shifted and put everybody into alpha and theta brain waves, which improves and promotes intuition, creativity, creative expression, authenticity.
Hell yeah. I want all that. That's great.
And another thing that this can be offered is for team members or group and companies that they're actually building something with a team and they have some sort of emotional process or conflict in the group, that the group of amazing creators or artists are creating something valuable. They put time for many years to finish this project, but then they have an emotional process. A lot of approach nowadays is sit and talk about it. But I also study a little bit of monkey chanting and learned this a little bit from that part of the world's like being like monkeys. We can process and move through rhythm, expression, togetherness, and creating a pattern and dance it and cultivate an energy, release it. The team are fine after. Wow. They don't even have to talk about it.
Wow.
Because all those talks comes from these emotions inside of you, wants to come out and do something. But if you drum and jump into space and you're doing something about it, would be your fullest creative roar that is not harming anybody. It's just you and your full expression. After that, they were fine. They held each other. We watched this. They kissed each other, apologized, loved each other, cried because they changed the motion by going fully into the expression of the anger they had without harming anything or anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, this is technology.
It is, right? Totally. I love this technology.
It is a discovery of mine to know this is the technology of the universe. I mean, look at the dogs and the cats and birds. How many times a day they shake?
Right.
Every time the nervous system goes from the parasympathetic, which is relaxed, to sympathetic, which is fight or flight, when it's a time of dangers or it needs all your focus into something important matter, we go to fight or flight. And with a little shake, we can come out of a fight or flight and go into a relaxed mode, which the digestion goes back into digesting and all the other stuff starts happening. But when we're in fight or flight, everything stops. So dogs shake, cats shake, birds shake, everybody's shake, all the species shake. So shaking is one of the most important parts of the body language. Yeah,
we've taken shaking out of our system. You know, as children, I remember just bouncing around everywhere, right? And parents being like, my mom and dad being like, sit down, stop. Yeah. We're both Persian, so Beshin sarajat. That means just sit on your chair, sit on your ass. Like, they
stop moving.
Stop moving.
Because I would be like a snake climbing everything. It's like, stop moving. Yes. Stillness. Still.
Totally same here. Yeah, absolutely same here. Yeah, so I wanted to sort of like share a little bit about what you said to sort of like bring it into like a explanation for the listeners, which is what I heard you say when going to like the work office place, the office might have a conflict. So what they're feeling in their body right now is tension, anxiety, frustration, upset, anger. And so all the thoughts that are associated with that are like, it's your fault, blame, like, I hate you, I can't stand you, right? So all those stories are going in their heads, right? And what Raha is suggesting, like, if they went into some sort of somatic movement and danced and like, expressed it from their body, what would happen, it would loosen that anxiety, that tenseness, it would pretty much release it, right? To a level where all of a sudden what happens is the thoughts change. I'm no longer, or that person is no longer pointing a finger being like, it's your fault. It's sort of like, I love you, man. Like, let's work this out. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a direct connection there.
Direct connection. Absolutely.
You're not looking for the guilty one, or you're not hurt anymore. You don't need to figure anything out. You're done.
You're done.
Your body did it for you.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, that's what's simple, but
I know,
hard to see sometimes.
It is. So it is simple. So I think that I would be curious for the audience to know, how would you suggest, if they're afraid or if they're like, oh my God, can I actually do this? How would you suggest that they take like one little step towards doing that?
One little step, and the main little step would be shaking and sounding, whether they're sitting down in their office or as soon as they get home, put a 10-minute song and shake their body without thinking of anything. Or if it's a team, they do it together, who enhances the result of bonding and binding and creating again. And the practice we'll do at the end of the podcast today would be a great, simple codes, even just shaking. Sometimes I feel like I enter a room and something hits me, or I go into a fight or flight. I even go into a bathroom just like, ooh, let's do one like the dogs and the cats, just one. Yeah. One good shake like a dog, and I come out, it changes the whole game. Wow. It's super simple. Yeah. And if you have a chance, I know we are even more conditioned with our voice, which I'll go over that a little bit more too. I go into my car. I go into my car and I have a good shake and a scream, a couple of good scream. Yeah. I'll bring a little creativity into it. I had to keep it long and not think that I'm screaming about something. I just feel and observe it as emotion and energy that is helping my expression to be maybe more primal. Just let it out and then go back. I go either to bathroom, my car, emergency exit. Hell yeah. Like a little emergency exit. And sometimes some people and friends, I feel comfortable. I would get up in the corner of my desk and shake, because I know it's really awkward to do that in the office. It's all sitting and not moving as much and not expressing as much. They would think you're crazy, but I'm sure all the workers, they know you're not crazy. And if every single one of us get up and even bringing these little somatic codes into life will help me and will help whoever is watching. So maybe even being bold about, pause for a second, let me shake my body and see what it does to me, and be okay with being seen as crazy. Or so having the audacity to get up from your chair, go in the corner of your desk and shake your body. I also find a lot of healing and a lot of spiritual improvement with not being serious anymore. Ooh. Yeah, being silly, letting go of seriousness is essential. Is that 50%? So 50% serious, have discipline and be able to hold it together and do it. But then for that mental health crisis, we need a 50% of being absolutely silly and goofy and not making sense. One of the other problem I was trying to make sense all the time. So my system was signaling, no, life is a play. Look at children. They just play all day. You can't, Osho talks about it in his book. You can't even ask them, why are you playing all day? To children. They would look at you, is there anything else here to do?
Right.
We're just here playing.
Yeah.
And the more I brought silliness and let go of my seriousness and making sure I have it together all the time, that was another major breakthrough for me to heal.
Yeah, it sounds like at least seriousness, the way that I sort of think about it, seriousness of and knowing, and it comes from the intellect, right? Like, oh, am I getting it right? Is this the way to go? Is this okay? Is this working? Right? Where versus silliness is sort of the unknown.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So these practices also can help to turn off the prefrontal control, which is our personality. This is proper. I should be like this. I should be like that. If I'm like this, I'm going to be loved, or if I'm like this, I'm going to be approved. So that all comes from prefrontal cortex, that it forms our personality. And by certain movements, repetition of your head or head shake, you turn it off. And then it gives you a little glimpse or a little bit relief of behaving from a place that it wasn't predict or imitated or hesitated or edited, basically, to be accepted. We become into a more raw, authentic expression of ourselves. And that's what we're thirsty for. And that's why we're suffering from different mental problem, because the body is like, please give it to me.
Right. I want to feel something.
Can I express?
Right.
Like telling your dog always never bark. It's like, what? That's how I talk.
Right. You know, dogs want to express themselves. And I think that for me as an individual, like, expression has been a big thing for me, whether it's, voice, sexual expression, embodied expression. There's moments where I really want to express flamboyantly, and I felt very, very restricted in doing that. Same thing with my sexuality, wanted to express my fullness. And so I've gone through my own journey of discovering what that is. And I know that a lot of guys out there also have challenge when it comes to sexual expression, vocal expression, like, how do they express their bodies? Like, what is your experience when it comes to sexuality in your world? Like, how does that look like?
That's a great and very essential question. Because that's our major natural way of playing with life force, right? We're all made in sex. The source of every single human being here is sex. Is through orgasm frequency.
Right.
The beginning of our presence been orgasm frequency. And sadly, unfortunately, there is porn out there in media as a form of education for people who are curious. And I do see it that it is designed for a show. It's not really guiding people into understanding sexuality.
All right.
And in my personal experience and some of the clients that I'm working with and friends and people who I'm in touch in their lives, we see that this is promoted, that your life force is something you get turned on, you play with it, and you have a destination of climax, and you release. But that's like the first introduction.
Right.
That's literally the introduction of, oh, you can actually have these type of other energetic experiences, like a climax. And there is so much in there that it's not being explored or experienced or discovered or played with because of the lifestyle we have created. And I do see it a little bit of the influence of the porn. Yeah. It's all directly connected to the finish line and having a destination. You have to perform a certain way. You have to sound like a certain way. They won't really bring in the primal, like a full expresses. Is all designed for a movie. That's a production. It's not a real interaction. And in personal life, I find people who are just operating from that place of performance and a destination seeked playfulness. So finding the energy, which my L5 and herniated disc was all giving me the chance to go there and explore more. When I realized that I can actually let go of the destination and explore the erotic energy, the life force energy, I discovered so much of my somatic wisdom, and how we can extract wisdom from pleasure was another breakthrough. That I was like, oh, God designed this for us to learn through pleasure. We don't have to suffer. We don't have to go study so hard. We can be present with our senses. And I feel really strongly bad for men, because there are many different ways we can have orgasms. There are many different ways we can actually be in that intensity, frequency of orgasmic waves going through our system, and not pumping your body to ejaculate an actual fluid to make a human being. So at the same time where my L5 was kind of herniated disc and causing problem, I was studying Tantra, a lot of Osho's book, and doing all the practices he has to become one with the intelligence flow. And the sex is the way. Our sexual force is the way. And unfortunately, I see with a lot of men, they just, as soon as they're activated in their root chakra, they pump it and they give this fluid that is only designed to make another human being. So we give a lot of life force out. We can have practices that you put that aside. You go into the meditative aspect of the pleasure. You meditate with sensation, bringing the attitude of meditation into the erotic exploration of self, and bringing the voice aspect, which this is what I do a lot in my one-on-one sessions, to connecting the voice into the pleasure and not having any process in between. What is a pleasure and what does it sound like? That opens up the door for a lot of understanding of our frequency body. And being turned on basically means having more life force. So you stay there. You don't have to finish it.
Right.
But finding the full expression through it. So they're all cultivation practices, which we do cultivate and bring into meditation and go into the pleasure. Penetrating through our flesh with our own voice is the most potent healing and activation one can do to themselves. And the voice is a bridge to the unseen world, to the invisible mechanism. And the invisible mechanism can be understood through playing with our voice. That's how we can understand the bridge. And also the voice is directly connected to our nervous system. That's why when you hurt yourself or you hit something, you instantly use your hand and you say, we make a sound because our nervous system is directly connected to our voice. And instantly, because of that shock, we use the voice to regulate it.
Yeah.
And of knowing these techniques and technologies, so we can go to the voice and be a little bit of turn on and play with the erotic energy and use the voice meditative for 20 minutes of sounding in pleasure and see what type of frequency activation it does to your body. There's no other way.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. I studied Osho as well and Tantra as well. And so I can attest to having studied it in my, I've been studying it for about 20 years, but in my earlier days, I would be very, very, very efficient in practicing every day. So I can promise you that it is possible if you consistently practice where you have orgasms without ejaculating.
Exactly.
So that is possible. You can do it. You just have to practice. Like anything you want to cultivate requires practice, right? Daily, consistent. If not daily, as often as you can, but it requires practice. So I love this. Why don't we dive into what your exercise or your experience is that you're offering? Like, what is it?
So especially what I'm offering today it will be a little mini sample of what we do. First, we shake a little bit, make sure shake the system. So even if you're in a seated position in your work, behind your desk, you feel something and you have hit the dead end, it can help you to just shake and activate. We shake our body sitting down, using different movement pattern and maintaining them to expand our IQ. So I make, say you have hand movement and foot pattern and using voice, that will help us to maintain multiple things at the same time, multiple pattern. And using the voice will regulate our nervous system, so calm us down with something which could be just 5 to 7 minutes every day. Well, in some of the religious practices, like Islam, has a movement and sound practice 5 times a day. So, and they all point at the same thing. All the religions, if they're understood, they're pointing into the self awareness and using the voice, bringing expression, playing with energy.
Dude, I want to do this. Let's go. Anything else you want to share before you go into the actually guiding it?
I would just want to echo for everybody to have a really loving relationship with your body. These bodies are highly intelligent and they are thirsty for our attention. They are thirsty for our love, our personal love, and like touching your body and be like, you're doing great. Thank you for being my instruments. And having the intimacy with self and our senses, it's the most potent spiritual practice or self-development practice that anybody can have immediately with no cost.
That feels so good.
Yeah, no, these bodies are art. We are art. We are a miracle. So spend time exploring your body. Spend time and see what combos you can do and how long you can repeat a chant and what kind of altered state can you create. Just have fun with these instruments. Yeah, that'll be my last echo in this
Nice.
conversation.
Thanks. Go ahead and lead us into it.
Okay. So where you are sitting, for a moment, close your eyes. Bring your attention, your awareness to your body, to your feet that's touching the ground, to your roots is touching your chair. And notice your breath. Breathe from your abdomen only. As you inhale, expand your belly. Exhale, empty, draw it in and up. Inhale, expand. Exhale, empty. Sit fully straight with straight spine. Hold your weight. Notice your bones, your flesh, your muscles that are holding the bones. Have your feet and your tippy toes. Go on your tippy toe. And just start gently shaking. Shaking your knees, shaking your thighs. Sending the shakes to your roots. Holding your hands in the space and shaking your palms. As you're shaking from your toes to your roots, so the second layer is shaking your palms. Our palms each directly reflects our brain hemisphere, right and left. To balance our brain hemispheres, we go through somatic shaking to balance the energy, to balance masculine, feminine. So this is a simple practice to balance your masculinity and femininity and shake off your fascia. Literally saying the act of letting go with your hands, letting go with your legs. Take your hands up above your head and shake it. Now shake your head side to side. Sound kind of like a yawn. Little jumps, standing, sitting jump, letting go. Okay, give it one good let go. And bring your hands into space, kind of like a prayer towards the sky. Keeping our toes activated, our heels off the ground, straight spine, and our hands are in the space, completely mirroring each other, drawing a figure 8, sideway figure 8 in the space. There's magic into holding your hands in this space for a certain emotion. So this figure 8-ish, we don't have to think of perfection, just the movement is the essential. And holding your toes, your heels off the ground. Going to maintain this figure 8 with our hands in the space and bring in a call and response of a voice activation. I say a phrase and you guys repeat after me, kind of a call and response, but the whole time not losing the hand movement and not losing the feet activation.
Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey.
As we maintain the figure 8 in our hands and continue to voice, bring this gentle rock back and forth, forwards and back with your spine. So not only figure 8 hands, you're rocking your body back and forth. Bring your hands into your face. Put your palms on your face. Sharing your love and gratitude with this body. Just simply feeling your face. Put your hands on your heart. And feel your connection to this mystery intelligence force. That it's beating your heart. It's creating with you. It's growing your nails, growing your hair, digesting your food. So the mystery force is here. We're always connected to this intelligence. And knowing our aliveness is the miracle we're experiencing. How does that feel? Do you feel changes in your presence of
Oh yeah, I
your
feel
attention?
definitely a lot more. There's some sort of clarity in my vision, actually. Like there's depth. There's a lot more light. I definitely feel a lot in my third eye. There's a lot of activation. I'd say actually, I just feel my whole body a lot more relaxed, and there's a sense of alignment in just my whole both left and right hemisphere. So I feel really connected to myself right now. Yeah,
Awesome.
I love it.
That was a short little teaser.
Short but quick. I love it. Yeah.
Enough to feel it. I felt it too, and I think it's just something, just like 3 times a day minimum, morning, afternoon, evening.
Yeah.
Can save us a lot from medication and discomfort. Just can be simple and fun.
Right. What I noticed is when we got to the sounding, I noticed myself being at first quite in my head about it. Like, oh, what am I sounding like? What is it going to come out? And then I don't know where all of a sudden at some point I was just like not even, it was just coming out. It was so cool. I was like, what? It was really neat actually.
Exactly. To echo on your question that you said, why am I doing what I'm doing?
Yeah.
When I found the pleasure and playfulness with my voice and the ranges and layers I could go in and have fun with it, it was so pleasant. Because for many years, I was into that illusion that I'm not a singer. I wasn't born this way. I wasn't using my voice until I had to.
Yeah.
And it healed me. Then I started using it creatively. And when I found out that this instrument is me, and I have not been playing with it at all, just mimicking and imitating a language only, it was so pleasant and so liberating. Also a source of information for me, my voice.
Yeah.
Source of information that I was seeking. All my existential questions starts being answered when I use my voice 20 minutes continuously. I had answers from the unknown source. So I just want to help any other human being to find this connection, to play with their body, with their senses, also ask a question and access the somatic wisdom and get answers by these fun, but also really play with our voice. So fun.
So fun. Yeah.
So we're not doing it. The majority of us, we're not. And the birds, they never say, oh, I'm not a singer. All the birds, they sing daily, multiple times a day.
Yeah.
We are, in some ways, are designed that way. So, yeah.
Yeah. And by singing, I want to interpret that you're saying we all have a voice. We all have sound. And it's not about you having a good singing voice. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about like you have a voice that can sound, that's a form of expression, and not talking sound, but like creative sound. Let it express, just what we did in the exercise. So yeah.
Just being playful and creative, bringing multiple layers is also bringing multiple layers into your voice can make you multidimensional. That's the code.
Hell yes. Sweet. That was amazing.
Yeah.
So what are your current offers? And I know that you have some workshop that you do every year. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
So I have 2 big gatherings in a year on equinoxes that I bring a big group together, bring drummers and musicians, artists into creating something improvised on the spot with rhythm, movement, sound, creative expression as a meditation, also group dynamic flow of what human synchronization has to offer and experience it in a group setting. I also offer monthly of smaller groups that I design and I host, but I also get booked for people's private parties, birthdays or events to bring in somatic dialogues or somatic forms of communication into the group, or pre-party syncing the group and getting people into a more liberated state to have more fun in the parties. I also work one-on-one with people working with the energetic field, with the meridian points, and kind of combining some modalities of Hara massage, Mayan's abdominal massage, and finding energy points and where the blocks are, and helping you to connect to your voice, to penetrate through your nervous system, through your neuroconnectivity, and open up your channel. And go deeper into your full expression, because full expression is the main goal of every single human being on this planet, to reach their full expression. And that would be in the one-on-one, and going deep into how we actually can extract information and wisdom through pleasure, through the pleasure of our own senses, smell, touch, breath, voice, and having a little bit more scientific approach to our senses and meditative approach to find what they actually have for us.
Oh, man.
I'm still exploring.
Yeah, right? It's never ending.
I don't think it ever ends.
It never ends, absolutely. Yeah. And where can they find you? Is this like Instagram, socials better?
Yes, Instagram. You can also email me.
Great.
And
we'll drop those links on the description so you can find that easily.
Find all the ways that they can find me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Great. So as always, we're going to see you in the community to offer something a little longer and a Q&A. Potentially you have some questions of her of like, well, how is this? How does this work? XYZ, whatever you might have. So you can ask her those in the community. Mm-hmm. And finally, let's leave the viewers with some final remarks.
I would say my final remark would be bringing the attention and the awareness to the bodies as our main instrument to move through this world, move through this planet, to develop a deep intimacy, an emotional relationship to these bodies. Spend time, explore what the senses have, be totally present with your sensing, and have a scientific approach to your senses, to what you can do, how you can move, and what is the combo you can put in, and what kind of altered state can you create. Because this is the instrument to play with. Our bodies are so thirsty, waiting for us, waiting for our attention to tune in and actually play, because they have so much to show us. And just remember that we are the art, we are the miracle. Having these bodies is a temporary gift. It's temporary, it's not forever. To explore, experiment, and have deep layers of pleasurable sensory experience while we're alive, because it's not forever. We're all gonna die.
We're all gonna die. The train's gonna end.
Well, the body's has an expiration, not our spirit, but this is a temporary gift. So just see it as an instrument, see it as a playtime.
Thank you. Thank you for being here.
Of course. That was a pleasure. Thank you for having me. And it was a pleasure for me. I'm excited to create more, meet your community, and keep learning and raising our awareness and sharing the wisdom we have with each other.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye.